That ending for Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 was wild. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the things that happened beforehand. There was supposed to be a fight between the different dojos. Each one picked two people to fight. It was Robbie versus Axel. Axel is a strong fighter. Robbie was holding his own for a little bit until he got thrown to Cobra Kai. This is where the events started to kick off. Quan had hit Robbie, which was disrespectful, by the way. I mean, it's not like you couldn't expect that from him, but just because he lost to Robbie in the last event doesn't mean he had to do all of that. Now, Miguel was trying to walk over there and he got pushed by Axel. That's because he kind of has a crush on Sam and things at this point are heating up. I apologize if I messed his name up, but Gunther was trying to stop it, but he got punched in the face. Right when he was talking, he was trying to stop it and then just got punched. It looked like it was by one of the senseis, and from there, it was just an all-out brawl. The dojos was fighting. I was kind of hyped to see this. Even the senseis had to jump in and fight against the other senseis. Sensei Kim was almost getting jumped until Chosen showed up, and I'm not gonna front, I'm not mad at them trying to put these two together. Then you got Kreese trying to stab Terry Silver, which didn't work because he had lost his knife while he was trying to make his way through all the people fighting. So that means he gotta fight him with his bare hands, and eventually Johnny did show up to fight Terry. Also later on we will talk about that knife he lost again because it will pop back up. I will say I like the moment they had with Kenny and Devin fighting together. It was nice to see because Devin has been having a tough time during this tournament, and to see her have a good moment where she fought some people, it was cool to see. They weren't the only ones working together. Tori had to deal with Zara, and of course Robbie showed up. And it seemed like they cool again, and Sam jumped in as well. She did a kick while holding on to someone and then threw down the person that she was holding on to. In addition, seeing these three fight, it just shows even if they are on opposite sides that they are still friends at the end of the day. If I remember correctly, earlier in the episode, Tori had asked Sensei Kim if it was worth it to give up a bunch of stuff to win and be the best. Sensei Kim said it was, but in that moment when Robbie and Sam showed up, Tori might be thinking differently, especially towards the end of the episode. Here's when things kicked off to the lethal ending. Robbie was on the ground getting kicked by Quan. Sam was running up to try to help him out and he kicked her. Axel was over there fighting Miguel, and when he saw Quan kick Sam, he threw Miguel down and he went right over to Quan. You might as well say this dude went into Incredible Hulk mode. Axel's fighting Quan and he's winning. Axel overall is just a tough opponent. We don't even know how Robbie would have done if the match didn't get interrupted. While they were fighting, Axel kicked Quan into the camera, so everybody's watching with a cracked screen now. While Quan was on the ground, he found Kreese's knife, which I knew was going to pop back up, but I didn't know who was going to find it. Daniel seen him with the knife and he was trying to stop him, and when Quan went back to fight Axel, it didn't go the way he expected. Quan was the one who ended up getting hurt by the knife. Once you heard him yell and everyone stopped fighting, you knew what time it was. That was not the ending to part 2 I expected. That was wild. So now Quan is gone. This makes me wonder, since Daniel found out that Mr. Miyagi's fight back in the day led to someone passing away, but what if the situation was similar to this one? Like, what if the person Mr. Miyagi was fighting had a weapon and Mr. Miyagi knew or didn't know about it? And once the fight was almost over, it was like a similar situation to what happened to Quan. Because Daniel was thinking about what happened during that fight, but what if it didn't go how he thought it went? I also wanted to add in, it was interesting of them to show a younger Mr. Miyagi at the beginning of the episode going against Daniel. Then they showed the older Mr. Miyagi talking to him. I was surprised to see that. I was not expecting them to do that. I'm not too sure what's going to happen from here. Either the tournament gets canceled or they continue. But I will say some of them will be rethinking some of the stuff they went through. Whether it was with friends or those they just met, because it's not that serious to the point people are passing away. And it'll have them rethinking maybe going forward what karate means to them. Overall, I thought that was a solid episode and solid ending to part 2. There was a brawl breaking out, this dojo versus that dojo, and some of them were even working together. Then a serious moment happened at the end that probably will bring all of them together and probably have them rethinking things. But I'm interested to hear y'all thoughts. Comment below. What did you all think about part 2 and the ending for part 2?